I feel like there's some significant shifts happening in the market right now where the just the comprehensive nature of what AI and the different tools that are available to us right now are producing sometimes better outputs than MBAs out of college are able to produce, and the amount of hours and effort required. And I feel like the entire industry is going to be disrupted in probably the biggest way I've ever seen, because sometimes now the brightest minds are no longer holding that advantage of you need to hire them to access the information. And I'm thinking everything from the McKinseys and Bains to the IBMs, Accentures of the world. What do you see potentially happening when it comes to consulting to Salesforce or to clients who have Salesforce? What do you see if you could have a crystal ball? Where do you think things are going?
I think the first thing is AI punishes mediocrity. If you're not very good, if you're then AI will do a better job than you. As as the first thing I'm seeing is you need to have some level of specialization. You can't just say I know Salesforce. That's like saying I know the internet. I mean, what does that mean? You may be a specialist in a field service for oil and gas. So it's playing to the more traditional management consultants who are able to bring a level of expertise because they've seen other clients, they understand an industry or they understand a discipline. The understanding about how the technology works is big, is not is still required, but not to the same level of detail necessarily. i we're already seeing AI applications that can do quite a lot of the admin work. So configure record types or create objects, create fields. So some of that work is being automated. So again, we're moving up the food chain where it's about more strategic advice, more industry advice. The soft skills are going to be even really important. The ability to engage the client and actually navigate the client politics about, okay, you've got conflicting requirements here. What do you really want done? How can I advise you? How can we start to scope it? The project management skills can be really important. There's a lot of the softer skills, a lot of the more management consultant skills that I think are going to be the most important rather than the detailed technical skills. Some of those will still be required, but less of those. That's the first thing. Second thing is clients have now the tools to go to be a lot more savvy about what's actually happening. But we'll go back to our doctor's analogy. Now a doctor sees you as a patient and you go, okay, my watch has already told me I've got these problems. I've done my own research on the internet. So the doctor's almost on the back foot going, okay, how can I help you? What do you really want me to do? So we're seeing that shift as well, where clients have got better data, better understanding about what they need to do. So a consultant coming in and going, oh, I don't know, 35,000 and we'll do a 3 or 4 weeks worth of discovery and work out what it really costs you. Clients going, there are applications that will already tell you what's the scope of work. So the clients that are going to hold the consultants to a higher standard as well.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think there's two extremes. I think there's the clients that still want to hire those firms and they want it all done for them. And they will hire a team of very bright minds to come in and think through things that they have not seen before. It might be industry specialization, or it might be deep understanding in ways that they just don't have, or they may not trust AI yet to do. And then I think on the other extreme, you have those who want to do everything in house. And I think there's that third place, which I call a done with you model. And I feel like the advantage and opportunity for the consulting industry as a whole is the pattern recognition of I've done this for 15 clients. I can see where the landmines are ahead of time. I can see that if you make these decisions today, or if you don't put in these tools, if you don't address technical debt, if you don't address governance, these are the challenges that you're going to run into. And then leveraging AI, leveraging the different back end to support the guidance that you're providing. But I think that human touch, that face-to-face empathy of understanding the pain that will be caused if certain decisions are made is really how the two will work very well together. I think that is a great advantage for those who have done a lot of cycles and a lot of client engagements where they are able to recognize that. What do you think CIOs can do when they're looking to bring on junior teams who may not have that understanding, both internally and even in bringing in partners? How can they bring people up to speed in the fastest possible way so that the level of mediocrity is reduced and you can get to that nice tier of you're getting really good value and output given the tooling that's available?
Oh, that's quite a big question. I think The first process that most customers should put in place is their implementation process. I see that in most organizations that it isn't very rigorous. There's not sufficient business analysis up front. There's no governance around it. There are so many people still using change sets for DevOps. There's no one using, very few metadata dictionaries out there. So people haven't got decent access to the change intelligence data. So fixing that, I think, is the first thing a CIO should be doing. That means that then when they're bringing junior people on, they're bringing them into an environment where they're working from like solid data rather than bringing junior people on and going, throw you in there, swim around, see what you can find. So bringing them into what is a well understood process, which is well structured and is working well. Maybe it's got some quite good metrics to understand how to improve it. I'm not seeing very much of that. Those organizations who've got a center of excellence in place, saw some data the other day, 91% of those who have a center of excellence in place are the top performers in terms of delivering value from Salesforce. So there's a clear correlation between the two. Good center of excellence, good governance means that you're more likely to deliver Salesforce better. So I think that's where you start. Junior people can thrive if you've got some good structure around them and good people around them. I'll give you an example. Elements, we're building agents internally for ourselves. We've got one big agent, it's about 16, 17 topics, but we're also bring clients are going, hang on, if you could do that, could you help us fix some of the agents that aren't quite working the way we expected? We're being brought in there.